Hello, my name is Albert John E. Reyes, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a start and stop operation of a three-phase motor. So first we need our power, and then power is located here at the first part. At the second row, it is called power feeding, and select power line 1, line 2, line 3, and PE. PE stands for a protective wiring, like hero. Power protection pala. So after that, rename it as power. This first we're going to create our power circuit. So after that, let us have our circuit breaker. Circuit breaker with a three-phase. Leave at least 5 or 4 spacing, and I will rename it as MCB. MCB. That means main circuit breaker. And after that, we are going to put our magnetic contactor, which is this one. Ano, mali pala. Ito, it's here. Ano pala, here. This is our magnetic contactor. I will just name it as it is, negative KM. That will be my indication of our magnetic contactor. And let us put our TOR, our thermal relay, here. So thermal relay is located at this part. This is the here pala yung thermal relay. I know. Thermal relay is, I forgot. Thermal relay. Dito pala. Okay, ito yung thermal relay. Thermal relay. Ito yung thermal relay. I will just name it as TOR. Thermal relay. And doble pala. And lastly, you place your power circuit, your motor. Here's your motor. I am using a symbol motor because it's easy for me to determine and see if it works or not. So I will name this as motor. And here's the motor. So our symbols are now complete. Now what we are going to need to do is make our cables and connections. So in cables and connections, our line 1 should be using a phase wire, in which we will connect it there, phase 1. So I will just click it, drag tip to tip. The thing here that you must consider is it must be from tip to tip, because if kapag mulahos na siya, that connection won't be connected. So it must be from tip to tip. Take note. Tip to tip and tip to tip. And for our L2, it will be our negative, neutral wire pala, neutral wire. Neutral wire. And L3 phase wire is, I also use phase wire here. And for our protective no, protection wire, we have this broken line, and it's indicated by color green. That's sorry. And there. Now that our motor is complete, so this is our power circuit. Well, let us try to, if it runs. No, it won't runs because we have our magnetic contactor here. There's nothing controlling the motor. So yeah. Okay, so this is our power circuit, and then next we'll be having our control circuit. Control circuit, we need a circuit breaker, and our circuit breaker should be here. No, it's not a magnetic switch. Ito. This will be our circuit breaker or magnetic switch. I will just name this as CB for indication of circuit breaker, and I will place it there because we were going to tap it here. And yeah, so the first part of our control circuit is we will place an NC auxiliary heat relay. So relay, it is under TOR Japan. TOR is placed here. So let's find NC auxiliary heat relay. No auxiliary, NC auxiliary heat relay. So I will place it here, and I will name this as TOR also, so that the line, it will correspond to this TOR here. Okay, so once that's done, let us now start putting our NC button. NC button is a button in which it will be called a where is it? NC button. Here. This will be our button for stop. Let us name this as stop. And then for our start, it should be a push button. So here's a push button beside of the NC button. Let's just align it and place it there, sorry. And rename it as start. Okay, once that's done, and for the last part of this column, we will place a coil contactor relay, which its symbol is here, coils and signals. And pinaka first part is coil contactor relay. I will name it KM, negative KM, because it's a contactor that needs to be corresponding to our magnetic contactor here. So yeah, that's done. So let us first place our pilot signals, which is the signals that each indicates which line is being connected to the motor, which is not. So for that is we're going to go to coils and signals and click here pilot signal. This is the symbol for pilot signal, and place it here. The experiment needs 3, so we will place 3 and we will rename it all H1, H2, and H3. So we have our pilot signals are now placed. So let us now place our no contact beside our push button, start push button. It is basically this no contact, okay. It is placed here, no contact, and it is always named KM, negative KM, for that to correspond here and here. And once that's done, let us connect our stop with its NC contact. NC contact is just here beside the no contact. Make sure it's aligned. And this is also named as KM. Okay. And lastly, we will place our no auxiliary heat relay. It will be here. No auxiliary heat relay is here. So make sure it's aligned from our last. Okay, it's now connected. So let us now connect our wirings. In lines 1 and 2, in here our power circuit, it is used by a phase wire. So I will use a phase wire. Let's place that there. This dot means it is tapped here. If that line is not tapped, it won't run from our power. And here's for the neutral wire. Okay, once that's done, let's first place our phase wire here and make the connections from our coil contactor relay and our pilot signals. Oh my God, sorry. Okay, so this is named TOR pala. TOR. It's a no auxiliary heat relay, so it's a part of a TOR here. And yeah, continuing, connect your connections here. Once that's done, now place a connection for an indication that it is connected. Okay, so let us connect our TOR to our NC button. This is the NC auxiliary heat relay, in which connected to our NC button using a phase wire. So here, our NC button is connected to our start push button, and from start push button connected to our coil contactor relay. Now here's what the tapping starts. Our no contact is tapped between stop and start buttons. So let us place it here. It automatically connects, so it means it has connection now. And also here, let us tap there. And our first pilot signal should be tapped from our push button and our coil contactor relay. Okay, so for our second pilot signal, it must be connected from there and tap it from our NC auxiliary heat relay and to our NC button. I forgot pala to place the color. For our first pilot signal, it must be colored green. For our second pilot signal, it should be red. And for the third is for the yellow. So, okay, once that's done, let us connect our no auxiliary heat relay to our third pilot signal. Okay, and now lastly, connect our neutral wire to our two TOR. Okay, once that's done, you may now start the simulation. So on circuit breaker. Okay, the connections are from here. Signal from our second pilot, and if I will switch the TOR, and the TOR has the connection to our third pilot signal, and when I will click start and turn it off the TOR, our motor is now rotating. And if I'm going to stop it, I'm gonna just click stop, and our motor is now stopped. So this is how you create a diagram for the start and stop operation of a 3-phase motor.